The very first variety is the hydrangea bloomstruck. This is the 3 gallons. We still got like 7,063 of these still available. Like I said, the numbers may vary as time goes on, but this was one of their newer and improvement varieties to replace the hydrangeas regular in the summers. Like I said, this for the bloomstruck variety right now, it's like the 3 gallons, but so we still got some really good numbers on this variety right here. Next picture, please. The next one is the hydrangea Let's Dance Sky View. What's great thing about this variety, it will give, I think actually for the next 2 varieties, these are varieties will give you some bicolor when it comes to your appearance in the plants and being in a landscape. You will have a blue, a pink, and some of them will even give you a purplish color. So, and like I said, for this variety, it will all depend upon the pH that's in your soil. For more details with that, you probably see Jeff Lee, he could explain that more to you. But like I said, this variety Sky Dance View, it's a very beautiful variety. It looks great in landscape, and we still have 4,790 of these still available. Next picture, please. The next one, this is the intro to a new variety. This one is called the Pop Star. We grew this we got it in last year, we're growing it. We still got 2,372 of these in 2 gallons, and then 6,211 in 3 gallons. We're going to keep a good close eye on this variety. Usually we do that when we get new intros because we're still learning the growth pattern for this variety. So we won't release this until we actually are confident in the quality, because we want to leave that everlasting first impression. So like I said, this is a new intro to a new variety. As you can see, it's got some very beautiful, brilliant colors. It gives you a wide selection of different variations. Next picture, please. And the last one that comes from the variation is the Rock and Roll, which is one that's a plant that work variety. It's another one that gives you 3 different colors. We still got some good numbers of this variety left. We got 3,615. This is it's almost more of a, I think it's a lace. But like I said, it's a stunning variety. It hasn't disappointed. But like I said, we still got some good numbers on this still available. It's something to keep in mind for you. We still got 3,615 of these available. And then last, go ahead, please, go ahead. And last is the one that started all our original hydrangea in the summers. We sell this in 8s, 2s, and 3s. Right now, the 3s, we have some really big numbers on these still available. We still have 17,616 of these available. It's a variety that's great. You can plant in the part shade to full sun. We grow it in full sun. One thing you have to keep in mind is you want to water it a little bit more when it comes to those really hot drought days, because you don't want it to droop. But once again, control the pH in this. Fertilize it very early in the spring, and you will get this beautiful blue flower to it. And like I said, 17,000 these plus still available. Next picture, please.
So keeping with the subs for allocations, I did irises for you this week. The first slide is all of the non-bearded irises, whether they be the Siberian or native. There's also a Japanese variety that we have in there, which is the Insata variegata. So all of these get a little bit of a smaller flower with nice tall foliage. The foliage is usually good year-round, whereas the flowers are usually only in early spring. But there's a good variety of color there for you in the smaller flowers. And we do have, I believe it's 2 or 3 of the native varieties also. These are really kind of interesting flowers compared to the German varieties, just because they are a little bit smaller, but they're a little bit more intricate as well. So any of those small varieties that people are looking for, the native varieties are going to be there. The rest of them are the German varieties. So the next couple slides are all the bearded irises. You can go ahead to the next picture. So I just kind of sorted them by color for you. They're all pretty similar as far as shape and style. They do bloom early spring, and once the flowers are done, you might get a little bit of a late fall bloom. But it's not usually guaranteed with most of these varieties. I don't see them bloom very often. And if you get a chance to go up to the Rockefeller greenhouse up in Cleveland, they do have an iris garden over there. It's one of the largest varietal iris gardens in the country. So it's kind of cool if you want to see what all of these guys look like when they're in bloom, or you can come out here and check out what we have when they're in bloom, because they're kind of cool too. All of the pinks that we have, a little bit of rose. These are a little bit harder to match up if you get a customer that wants something that's in the pink or the rose variety for these, just because they are a little bit farther and fewer between. Most of them are going to end up being like the blues and yellows. And then the last one that I have for you there is the whites. I believe the only one that we have is, I can't remember which one we actually have. One of them is in the plan, one of them is not, but they're very similar. The Immortality does have just a little bit more yellow in the middle there, and the Mesmerizer is a little bit more frilled around the edges of the petals.